very much for staying on with us on the NSNB stock game. We've got the markets actually looking a bit wobbly, though we have recovered from the day's lows, and right now we are trending lower by just about a 0.4%. We're trying to breach that 5400 mark, but it's proving to be quite a struggle at this point in time. For the Sensex as well, 17,800 is just what is the level that we're maintaining, lower by about 50 odd points, and we've got the advance decline ratio firmly in favor of the losing side. The big movers then in the session, Rel Infra is actually under a tremendous bit of pressure. But what's happening with the derivative segment? Let's get you more details on the big movers there from Darshan Mehta. Hi, Darshan.
Hi, Megha. At this point of time, we are very close to going below the 5400 mark. So 5405 is where the Nifty futures is. Trading at a premium of 12 points. So the Nifty spot is already below the 5400 mark. So for the past 2-3 days, we are seeing a lot of consolidation happening. And the most important thing that you have to watch out here is that, of the psychological level of 5500, which the market has still not been able to breach, because if you see every day there is a lot of call writing happening at 5400, and the total open interest there is almost 1.11 crore shares, which is highest among all the other strike prices. So clearly the biggest support is at 5500, and the biggest resistance is at 5500, and the biggest support is at 5300, where almost 1 crore share is the total open interest. In terms of where positions are being written today, call writing is seen at levels of 5300 and 5200. So today it's the bears that are taking charge, and at in terms of the put and in terms of the call at higher levels, there is a lot of call writing that is going on. Stock specific counters like an IFCI open interest is up 14%. That one is seeing fresh shorts post the entire news of government hiking stake in the company. HOEC is seeing fresh long open interest up 9%, and Exide is up almost 6% on the back of fresh buying.
Okay, market's gunning for 5500, but right now 5400 is a struggle. Thanks very much, Darshan, for keeping us up to speed with the F&O activity. But let's take it straight to the stock game, and as always, it's mandatory to tell you how it's played. We have 3 experts. They join us from Monday up until Friday. We give them a notional amount of 5 lakh rupees. With this money, they create a portfolio with a total of 4 stocks, selecting only 1 stock from the F&O space if desired. If there's a sell call in the cash market, that has to be replaced by a new stock, and there's a compulsory turn of 2 stocks every single day. If a target or a stop loss is hit during intraday trade, that's also replaced by a fresh stock. And as you can see, the final rule, the total profit or loss is calculated today. At the end of the session, we'll declare who has the strongest portfolio, and that person is the winner. It's time now to get on board our 3 experts. Sanjeev Agarwal, Managing Director, Dynamics Research and Capital Management, is with us. Vishal B. Mulkan, Trading Coach at Mulkan's View, and Rakesh Gandhi, Technical Analyst, LKP, is joining in on the phone line. Well, gentlemen, great to have you with us. We'll start off with your fresh portfolios for today. Sanjeev, what's in store?
Yeah, today we had taken all the 4 calls looking at the market was under pressure, and it continues to remain so. The first, we had taken Opto Circuits sell. The second, we had taken Praj Industry as a sell, and third is Patel Engineering as a sell, and fourth, Kumars Synthetic Futures as a sell.
Got Sanjeev betting on 4 short ideas for today. And Vishal, you seem to have an absolutely contrarian stance. Run us through your stock ideas.
Yeah, I've gone for all 4 buys today, and most of them are big caps like TCS, which had a breakout yesterday on all-time high. We have Tata Steel. We have Kane India and Educomp Futures for long today.
Okay, and it looks like Rakesh Gandhi seems to be going short on the markets because it's 3 shorting ideas and only a solitary sell.
Yeah, I have selected 4, out of which 2 stocks are retained from yesterday, that is Hero Motors and Reliance Power, and 2 other stocks that I have selected on a technical basis is Opto Circuit, and on mobile that is a sell. Looking at the very short-term chart perspective, I believe these stocks have lower levels to be seen, while Hero Motor is showing some strength at this point of time.
Okay. So, we've got 3 short ideas coming in from Rakesh, and 1 sell and 1 long idea. But let's cut across to Salman Khurshid, Law Minister, who is of course coming out in defense of the Finance Minister soon after the Supreme Court verdict. Let's hear out an excerpt of his conversation with 18 Hours Nitya Balakrishnan.
This was a mountain out of a molehill. There was no reason whatsoever to raise these questions against the government and against Mr. Chindambaram particularly. I feel very pleased and gratified that our point of view has been accepted by the court. And I just hope and pray that the manner in which other pronouncements of the court are celebrated by our opponents, I hope that this will equally be seen in that light and celebrated by the other side.
But Mr. Subramaniam Swamy did feel that he had a very strong case against Mr. Chindambaram on the same matter. Now the fact that the Supreme Court has ruled in Mr. Chindambaram's favour, is there any other alternate follow-up move, given the fact that the Supreme Court is the highest authority of law?
Well, this is the second round in the Supreme Court. Mr. Subramaniam Swamy had attempted it earlier. The Supreme Court had said, you're free to go to a trial court. We're not preventing you from going to a trial court, putting your version there, and let the trial court take a call. And the trial court did take a call. And this got them to come to the Supreme Court for the second time. Now, once the Supreme Court has confirmed on merits virtually the second time, I think they should allow it to rest there. Is this a country in which we accept the Supreme Court as the final adjudicator of views that we may have, on which we may disagree amongst ourselves? Or is it that we use the Supreme Court only as a useful tool to proceed with our political agenda? I think we have to be very clear. The Supreme Court is the final adjudicator. We must respect the Supreme Court for whatever it does, and it does so after careful thought and listening to everyone. You can't keep putting question marks on what the Supreme Court has done. Otherwise, frankly, you have no business to have come there in the first place.
All right, Mr. Khurshid, my last question to you. For the fourth consecutive morning, we're seeing that the Parliament is being adjourned. No real work taking place simply because the opposition is gunning for the PM's resignation over the CAG report. Now, what kind of message is it really sending out to the people? Because the monsoon session is two more weeks left.
See, any intelligent person reads the CAG report, and I say this in slight departure from what my other colleagues have been saying. Any intelligent person reads the CAG report. Even if you were to give the benefit of doubt to the CAG report, if you read it carefully, you will come to the conclusion that whatever is being made out in the streets is not what the CAG has said. The CAG has given the steps that were taken from the other side's point of view. It took too long, but the steps that were taken to move from one kind of system of allocation to another kind of system. The CAG then has said that there is benefit to private persons to the extent of 1,86,000 crores. And then a very important line that if allocations are done by auction, some of this could have been tapped by government. They've not said that 186 could have been tapped by government. Some of this, and the CAG sadly has not quantified it to how much could have been tapped by government. So I think the figures that are being thrown at us, even the CAG has not supported. One should be very, very clear on this. Secondly, even if there is a benefit that goes to private parties, is that benefit an entire benefit, or is there not a 33% corporate tax on it that comes back to government again? And then out of that benefit, are there no more jobs? Is there no supply of some essential material that helps us help our GDP grow? I think all those matters will have to be considered before you come to a conclusion that what we did was completely and utterly wrong, and that it cannot be supported on any reasonable objective grounds.
So what's the message going out to the opposition really, and how hopeful are you to start work on the ground as far as the Parliament is concerned anytime soon? My
respectful submission to the opposition, and respectful it will remain, is that you shouldn't get onto a horse that you don't know how to get off. Be very careful. If you're not a good rider, stay away from the horse, and certainly stay away from a horse that kicks you hard in the face. Next time, try walking. Don't get onto a horse in a hurry.
Okay. Okay, some words of wisdom there from Salman Khurshid reacting to the CAG report, as well as that positive news that the probe against P. Chindambaram in the 2G case has been rejected by the Supreme Court, saying that no material evidence has been proven in his role in the 2G case. Well, meantime, let's nail it down to individual stock ideas from our three experts on the stock game. Sanjeev Agarwal has chosen to short in Opto Circuits, down 23% in the last 1 month, but there is a bit of buying activity. Is the worst perhaps behind it?
The way it had cracked yesterday, we were just looking that it was likely to test the yesterday's bottom again, and that's how we had shorted it. The target was hit in the morning. I think it opened lower, and now it's recovering a little bit. But overall, we expect this share, I think it should remain under pressure, and you are seeing the, only the quality shares are rising now, and all these mid-caps stories which are being punished, which don't have very good fundamentals.
Okay, that's advice coming in on Opto Circuits. The candle is seeing a bit of a bounce back after 3-year lows yesterday. Away from that, Tata Steel is the first pick that Vishal's got. Vishal, it's a candle that's not performed too much over the last month or so. It's trading below all those key moving averages as well. So what made you go ahead and buy this counter?
It was purely a trading call, and it was making a very good support around 390 to 400 levels since last couple of weeks. So I was expecting a bounce today. Unfortunately, the markets are down, so still it is holding on to this 390 levels, which is very important levels. So if it holds on a closing basis today, it should bounce back maybe Monday or Tuesday, and we can look at for targets of 420 to 430.
Okay, that's the word which is coming in on a Tata Steel. Meantime, Hero MotoCorp, that's the first stock that Rakesh is betting on. It's been up by close to 6% over the last 3 months. Where do you see the counter headed now?
Yesterday also I had discussed about this Hero Motors, and I believe that while falling from the level of 2100, maybe 2140 or so, when it has saw a sharp decline till the level of 1900, it has formed a channel formation from which it has seen a breakout at 1930 or around that level, and I believe it could see a sharp rise after that because it is sustaining above 1930 around that level, and I believe it could see a sharp rise after that because it is sustaining above 1930. The thing is, it has not been moving in the last 2 days, but I think eventually it will move up and we could see levels of 1990. If it manages to cross today 1945, I think by end of the day today it will see 1990, and that could happen. If it does not happen today, it could happen by Monday or Tuesday. Okay, so Rakesh is quite hopeful and about the prospects for a Hero MotoCorp, not just for today but for the next few days. What about your Praj Industries, a mid-cap name with Sanjeev, where your strategy is worked out? The candle is at a 1-year low today. Where do you think then it's headed over the next week or so? Further, we could probably see it breaking 40 as well?
Yeah, yesterday if you see, the 50 had been a very good support for many times, it had bounced back twice from that level, and yesterday it had broken with volumes to the lower levels, and it closed below that. So definitely that was a sign that stock is weakening, and I expect to make it lower to around 45, 46 easily, and if we get little bit more correction in say broader market, it can go down even to 40, what you are talking of, like this stock. I think there are some fundamental problems this year with monsoon, and so there might be a problem with their business model this year. Overall, the stock is not looking very good on the charts, and definitely is a case of short selling.
Okay, fundamentals and technicals not auguring well for Praj Industries. It makes a good case for short selling, 2.5% almost off as we speak. TCS, that's the stock that Vishal seems to like in the portfolio. It is doing very well today. It's hit a new high as well of 1328. Do you think it has the legs to go higher from these levels?
Yeah, definitely. IT has been doing good since the last couple of weeks, and especially TCS has been trading at all-time high and sustaining about that. That's a good sign. And if it closes above this 1325 levels on today, which will be a weekly close, I expect it to go higher up to 1450 also for a positional basis. But today I have chosen a target of around 1346 with a stop loss of 1320.
Okay, those are some key levels to watch out for a TCS. Reliance Power Futures is the counter that's up for discussion next. Rakesh, you're of course holding it on from yesterday. So, where do you think the counter is headed for this expiry at least?
See, yesterday, as discussed, it has formed a head and shoulder pattern and has seen a breakout below that 87 level. The pattern is indicating that stock could see quite lower levels, maybe up to 75, and that could be a very sharp decline. It has not happened since last 2 days, but I believe that in next week it could happen because looking at the current levels where it is trading 83.50, I think it is once again closing at a new lower low on a weekly basis, which is technically a negative indication. Hence, I have initiated a short call, and I believe if it today once again breaks that 80 level, which is the low of the day, it could see levels of 81 by end of the day.
Okay, in fact, it has broken very close to breaking that level at 83 as we speak. Time for a quick break. Our three experts will be with us with the rest of their trading ideas. Don't go anywhere.
Good to have you back with us right here on DNS in the Stock Game. Well, we've got you the first two ideas and then to discuss ideas number 3 and 4. And we'll do both of them in fact together. So Sanjeev, let's talk about a Patel Engineering where you've already hit the target, and an Kumars. That counter of course is bleeding after yesterday's cut as well. So where do you think these two names are headed?
Yeah, if you see the Patel Engineering, again, the similar kind of a story that is happening in most of the mid caps. And Nifty making a new high, and these shares are breaking their bottoms. I think they are as close to the bottom or even making lower when even the Nifty was at 4,800. They were much higher than here. Overall, you know, the whole story is happening. There are very few stocks are leading on the upside. Overall, Patel was looking quite weak once it cracked 78, and 78 had been, you know, sort of a very good support. So our target was somewhere around 75 for the day, which it has already hit. Another stock which I had taken was Kumars, and there was a huge long unwinding, and 2250 was a major support which it has broken yesterday and fallen 13%. Today I had taken a sell call in futures and 3 lots. So this stock is just bouncing back. So it is bleeding my portfolio quite a lot to the tune of 20,000. But I feel this is the right level. Actually, it's a better level than yesterday to sell because the stop loss is much nearer at around 2260, which is just above 2250, which is a crucial level, and the downside target can be below 20, which can give you a huge profitability in terms if it happens to, you know, touch those bottoms now. Overall, this stock is just trying to pull back, and I think after a day or two, the pullback, we are definitely going to see the lower levels of around 19.5 or 19. So the stock might give a good returns for a positional trader, though intraday it might just be bouncing back after yesterday's carnage. So, but as it bounces closer to 2250, that is a better sell because the risk-return ratio reaches in your favor much higher.
Well, you win some, you lose some. So while you've got Kumars not working in your favor, the target has been achieved on Patel Engineering. So in Vishal, you're going long on KN India and Educomp. Both the counters are very muted today.
Yeah, KN had a very good breakout around about 340 yesterday with good candlestick pattern as well as volumes, and expected it to continue further. It's today, it's just getting at the same level since flat since morning. And Educomp had a very good pattern on hourly chart. It's been trading in a range between 150 and 165 since the last couple of weeks, and hourly showed that there is a clear breakout, but it didn't continue today. Unfortunately, got stopped out. But once it goes above 165 on a closing basis, we can expect higher levels of around 180 levels.
Okay, expecting higher levels for both a KN as well as an Educomp. But the mid-cap basket clearly seems to be a favorite for the shorting side at least. And Rakesh, you've got two names from here, an Opto Circuits and an Automobile, which you're shorting for the day.
Yeah, Opto Circuit has broken its very critical level, that is 140, and I think as long as it remains below that 140, the negative bias will remain. I have initiated a short call today for a lower target, and I think it did not achieve. It went up to 115.5, but my target was 113, and hence it has not been achieved. I believe it could see further lower levels, but if it bounces back to somewhere near to 140, it would be a good shorting candidate. Another one is on mobile, which has formed a rising wedge kind of a pattern from which it has seen a lower breakout before one day, that is on maybe Wednesday. It has seen a lower breakout from that, and yesterday the momentum has picked up. I had initiated a call and for a target of 36.25, but it went up to 36.70 and has bounced back, and I think it has hit a stop loss in that case.
It has indeed, at a level of 39.25 on and on Mobile Global. Well, time to show you who's making the money, who isn't right now on the stock game, because that is the agenda. Sanjeev Agarwal up first, four short calls, 3 targets have been achieved barring that of Kumars. But all in all, he's been losing out from day one, so that's 3% off the entire portfolio, 16,000 rupees off. Vishal Malkan, not a great day for him at all. He's in the red for all 4 of his stocks, but he is making a gain nonetheless of 27,000 rupees, topped out on Tata Steel and Educomp. Rakesh Gandhi up next, topped out on Automobile as pointed out. Relpa is the only green spot, so he's losing out very marginally, 0.3%, that's about 1,400 rupees. So Vishal Malkan is in the lead, followed by Rakesh Gandhi and Sanjeev Agarwal. Well, thanks very much, gentlemen, for joining in on the show. Pleasure having you with us. We wrap it up right here on VNSN, the stock game. Up next is Market Check.